Hey folks, welcome back to another comparison video. Now this week we're going to actually take a look at, instead of two different games and how they stack up together with their mechanics and everything like that, this week we're going to actually take a look at the same game but two different versions of the game that are currently available. So this is going to be a little bit of a different comparison. So we're actually going to be not just a talking head segment today. We're actually going to open both of these guys and give you a look at what's on the inside so that you can make a more educated decision on which version you would probably be more happy with. So let's get to it. Okay, so as we're breaking into the generic, I guess you could say, or the basic version of Star Wars Risk, we'll look at the box. It's very simple, very, pretty. The cards that come, they come in a little wrapper, of course, and you have to break them apart. I've gone ahead and separated them as well. The card stock, if you look, is not bad. But one thing with black bordered cards is they're going to show their wear very easily. So the models are all pretty decent. You have a number of different things here. First of all, you have all of your TIE Fighters. And the TIE Fighters are actually pretty neat. They're all these little guys, and they're made out of plastic, durable plastic. Doesn't feel like you're going to break them very easy. The cardboard counters, these are a couple of different things. First of all, you have these gray guys that stand for stormtroopers down on Endor, stormtrooper squadrons, and then you have a counter for a health counter for the executor, a health counter for Darth Vader. You can't see those here. Health counter for Darth Vader on the different things. And these cardboard chits they're durable, but they're a little thin, just a tad thin. Not too bad though. Then you also have a cardboard cutout for the executor. It's right there. So that's not bad either. But again, this is all functional, but pretty close to what I would consider a mass market game quality. Continuing on, we have the Rebel side of things, and you have different kinds of models here. This is actually pretty cool because you've got B-Wings, Y-Wings, and X-Wings. And they're all different sculpts. Pretty neat looking too. The Y-Wing there is kind of at an angle. I don't know why they decided to do it with that and not with the B-Wing, but B-Wings are pretty cool too. And then you have the Millennium Falcon as a cardboard cutout, which it's a good depiction of it. A little bit off center, as you can see. So they could have done a little bit better there. Then there is also cardboard counters for this side as well. One for Luke and one for the Falcon through different kinds of things. So again, this is still kind of a mass market quality, although I will say that I was pleasantly surprised with the sculpts on these guys. I wish the X-Wings were in attack formation where, they actually look like X-Wings, but at the same time, I can live with this. These are all good. I like how each of them have different sculpts and everything like that. Really neat looking. And as you open it, you can already tell right off the bat that this is going to be a little bit of a higher level production quality. First of all, you didn't have to punch any of these out. They're already punched out when you get them. They come in a foam insert thing here, and the board is much thicker, much more durable than the other one, and all of its pieces are actually very thick. I am not at all worried about messing this up as I really shouldn't be. I usually don't worry about messing up a game board for any game that I get, and this follows that level of thinking here. I mean, the cardboard, it's a thick cardboard instead of the thin one, and I'll compare the two individually in just a few moments. The Death Star is not just printed on the board, it is an actual model, as you can see there, and it is a very actually has some heft to it, so not bad at all. For some reason that eludes me, the Millennium Falcon is gold. Not really sure. Maybe just to differentiate between the Death Star and the Executor, that are both plastic models. Has a little bit of a dry brush technique on there, but not very well painted at all. None of these are well painted, so don't even think about that. The cards of this version are still a little thin, but they have that embossing on it that was on the front of the box as well. The dice, I'll go ahead and compare those two right now because it's the easiest comparison. They're all, of course, red, but you see the difference. The ones that come with the Black Series are rounded. They have that translucent look to them, whereas the one that came in the basic version are all angular and they are opaque. Okay, so here you have a side-by-side version of base game, Black Series game. You'll see that the artwork is identical. Of course, maybe if I needed to put it on the same thing here, artwork is identical. The main difference here is that on this one, if you can see it, it has those raised edges that are on that adds a little bit of pop to it, whereas this one does not have that at all. It's just a finish, a picture put down on some cardboard. Now, the actual level of thickness between the two is really not there. But I can't show you enough on the video. This feels flimsy, this doesn't. I don't know why, but there is a difference in quality here that I'm just not having a trained eye, I guess. I'm not seeing it, but I'm feeling it. Where that really comes out, though, is the difference in quality between this board centerpiece and that centerpiece. As you can see here, this centerpiece is just one fold, like so. This one is, again, a little bit chintzier, not as good. And again, it's a quality that is felt. Maybe you can see it, but I don't know. There's also the difference here that the Death Star is not here while it is here, and that's because that guy goes there. So again, there is a three-dimensional quality to it. There is a quality of the cardboard that is in question. This is cheaper than that. Here I just wanted to show you the difference in what you're going to be getting with some of the different components. For example, here on the bottom row here, this is what you're going to get in the base game. You might be able to tell, maybe you can't, but these are thinner than the ones that are on the top. The ones that are on the top come in the Black Series version of Star Wars Risk. The ones on the bottom come in the regular, just I guess you could say, mass market version of Star Wars Risk. The other glaring thing, at least for me, is you can see how these are not centered on the actual counters, whereas in the Black Series set, they are all centered. So there's that. Then you have the difference. Do you want a cardboard counter or do you want an actual plastic model? Cardboard counter, actual plastic model, cardboard counter, or actual plastic models. Those are the differences between those guys. In the base game, these are the way the cards are going to look. And as you can see, I have only pulled them out of the plastic. I have not played this copy at all, and you can already tell how the edges are going to be scuffed up. So these are the cards from the basic version, the regular mass market version of Star Wars Risk. And then these are the, has that little finish on them, if you can see that. And the little shiny bit going action there. Just a little bit of a higher quality printing, the finish that is put on these. And then on the other side, you have that shiny little action going on there. These are that's the difference between the different kinds of cards. Now these have actually been played once. I played it with my wife a couple nights ago, and we went through an entire game. I was the Imperials, she was the Rebels. She won. And this has been through one game already, whereas these have not. And you can already see the wear and tear. So that was the Rebel deck, and then, I'm sorry, that was the Imperial deck. The Rebel deck is more of the same. It has that little shininess that's there for many of the different cards. Not all of them, but, and then the back has that glossy texture to it. And the Rebel cards from the base set. And again, much of the same, just less fancy. And just for posterity's sake, I just wanted to show you the difference between the two rule books. They are generally the same. One just has the Black Series look, style, design, while the other one is rather generic looking. Inside is basically the same. There are maybe a couple of differences in the pictures, but I gave it the once over, and except for some graphic design choices like the red border instead of a black border, and then red bars instead of the clear outline bars in the other one, it's largely the same. But hey, posterity is a good thing, right? Now, as far as my conclusions that I've drawn, if you are buying this for let's say an adult person who enjoys Star Wars, is a fan of Star Wars, and they are also a gamer, they enjoy games and that kind of thing, you might want to go with the Black Series. It has a higher price tag, but I think that the level of appreciation that you will receive from a Star Wars fan who is also a gamer will be higher. If you're buying it for your kid, and I'm not trying to diminish buying things for a child, maybe they are not as invested in Star Wars as, say, an adult fan would be. You might want to save a few bucks and just go with this version, because like I said, the gameplay is exactly the same, the only difference being the component quality difference that is there. Now, if money is not an object, this is probably, your Huckleberry. This is the way you should probably go, because it is the better version of this game. The component quality is better. The cardboard quality is better. The finish on the board is better. The finish on the cards is better. The dice are better. You have more actual plastic models in this one than the cardboard cutouts in this one. The cardboard cutouts that are in this one are centered and neat and organized well. So again, this by far is the better version of the two. But if you're looking to save a few bucks, and the person that you're buying it for won't really care either way about the component quality, save a few bucks and go with this one. But the person that you're wanting to impress, or the person that you're wanting to show them that you do actually, well, I don't want to say it this way, but that you do understand how much they enjoy Star Wars, how much they enjoy board gaming and that type of thing, showing them that you care about their hobby, so to speak. And I know that's going to get some comments, but anyway, this is the way you should go. Of the two, this is clearly the better version. This is a good version, don't get me wrong. Hasbro did very good putting this out for mass marketability at a mass market price. This being the designer Black Series is that it's a little bit of a step up. Probably not what you're usually looking for in a designer copy or a deluxe version of a game. If you're a tried and true gamer, but this is still much better than this version. So there you have it. Hopefully I've given you enough information for you to make your own decision. See you on the flip side, folks.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.